wrote a press release about that one time, saying that cheating America isn't patriotic, and people in the military, need to realize that when you're spying on the American people and trying to intimidate people like you, that's not patriotic. That's not what this country is founded on. And I had one of those guys outside my office. He was clearly a military guy in plain clothes, chain smoking. You could tell a military guy in plain clothes. You can just tell. Well,
you can tell special forces operators from regular Army. I mean, they're like wolves just looking at you, and they think it's real funny.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I don't care anymore. And I'm like you. I don't care. There's nothing they can do. I don't care. These bozos, they're around the office. I don't care. I think it's funny now. In fact, I'm proud that I can cause that much trouble.
Well, let's talk about what you discussed, because they try to keep these numbers secret, but you've got links to this in your document link in your press release, this April 13th report you just put out a few days ago. And it says the most recent information released by the Obama administration shows large receipts of small business contracts such as Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, Dell Computer, Xerox, SAIC. That's that big, that's one of the really sneaky ones.
Yeah.
General Dynamics, Bechtel, and John Deere. Moreover, federal data indicates that corporate giants are receiving as much as $200 billion a year from federal small business contracts. And correct me if I'm wrong, under that program, they're not supposed to be getting that money.
Absolutely not. In fact, federal law defines a small business as being independently owned. So a publicly traded company doesn't qualify as a small business no matter what they do. But this is a story I've been trying to get in the mainstream media for a decade. It's really hard. Small businesses are supposed to get around $230 billion a year in federal contracts. That would be the most powerful economic stimulus that anyone's ever proposed. It would create more jobs than anything President Bush or President Obama ever thought about. It's a wonderful program. Started back in 1953 with Eisenhower, and it's been completely, subverted, where all the money's going to the Fortune 500 firms. And of course, as we talked earlier, they're the ones that control all these committees. So, and it's hard to get this in the press because those institutional ads that you and I see all the time from these big, Fortune 500 defense contractors. But I think that if the government would do one thing, if President Obama would do one thing, he said in February of 2008, it's time to end the diversion of federal small business contracts to corporate giants. If he would simply do that, it would create more jobs, put more existing federal infrastructure spending into the middle class than anything he's ever talked about.
But the big mega corporations want to consolidate power. Their own stated goal is to create an economic system where you have to work for them.
Absolutely.
And here they are getting the small business money. And so, of course, you're getting threats. Of course I'm getting threats. I mean, it's their $200 billion in their eyes. They want the taxpayer money, and I'm sick of it. I mean, our economy is falling apart. I'm an American. I'm a patriot. So are you. I want to have a future for my children. And to these, I mean, here's the deal. They know they're consolidating the economy and power, but at a certain point, they're going to destroy their own nest when they wreck things so bad. Where is the tax base going to be for them to continue to suck off of us? They're too good at what they're doing. They're killing the golden goose.
They've done it already, I think, quite frankly. I think they've done it already. And I think that these big corporations have just gone too far. And I'm not sure we can get the economy back on track, quite frankly. In fact, the things that Obama's proposing simply will not work. There's just no way it's going to work. Raising taxes on small businesses is economic sabotage. So I think it may be too late, and I just don't. I'm not confident that they're going to be able to get the economy back, the way it was before. So I think these large corporations have just gone too far. And you know what, Alex? I think the secret to all this is campaign finance reform. If these big corporations couldn't funnel money into these politicians' pockets like they do, they wouldn't have this kind of power. So
I agree with you, but every time they give us a McCain-Feingold, it doubles what the big guys can give and restricts an individual.
Right.
So no matter, because people aren't sophisticated enough, whatever reform they give will be the opposite of what they claimed it was.
That's the Washington, D.C. two-step, isn't it? To, come out with a piece of legislation with one title that does exactly the opposite. But if the American people... I guess I was thinking about this earlier. We're not communicating. The American people are not communicating their government. They're not getting it. So if you're sitting at home listening to this and you're upset, you need to do something. Do something. Get on the phone. Call your congressman, call your senator.
Well, that's what's frustrating. You're risking your name, your treasure, your body. I'm doing it. And I want the general public, all these so-called tough guys out there that wouldn't let their neighbor's dog do something in their yard, but they'll let the system rob them.
Right.
I want to see all you tough guys, all you John Waynes out there, I want to see you do what we're doing so you can face the intimidation and really learn how real this is. I want you to step into the fire, step onto the arena, get in the arena, because I know a lot of you are tough guys, and once they come after you, you're going to get your back up, and then we're going to have a larger army. And that's starting to happen, and we cannot give into this intimidation. We have to start engaging our government at every level and get our liberty muscles back in place. The system's trying to intimidate us because they're scared, and they know they've gone one bridge too far. And I want to thank Lloyd Chapman of ASBL.com for joining us. We've got your press release posted at Infowars.com. I'd hope that Drudge or somebody would pick this up. But Obama budget plan, higher taxes on small businesses. And it is very important to get this information out. We'll talk to you again. Lloyd Chapman, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Alex.